While heading northwest from the Corvega factory, I ran into a group of outcasts who had some pretty mean things to say.
Hey, local, shouldn't you be banging rocks together or something?
Why don't you go bother the Brotherhood or something?
Hey, local, shouldn't you be banging rocks together or something?
With the outcasts behind me, I headed up to a nearby radio tower and discovered Wheaton Armory. A closer look revealed a group of raiders. I approached the gate, trying my best to remain undetected. That didn't go so well. Inside this metal pod is a first aid box and a grenade box. Moving on to the southern entrance, we can open the gate and deal with the remaining raiders. The coast looks clear and the compass shows no more hostile markers, so let's start looting. The raiders have nothing of particular interest, but the trailer has quite a few goodies, most noteworthy being the chems and ammo. As for the base, it's split into 3 sections: this side, that side, and the road. Let's check out the road first. Following it leads to another gate where the body of a raider can be found. I'm pretty sure this isn't always the case though, as I did see the rocking head of a Protectron close by. My guess is the robot did it. There is another structure at this end, but inside it's bloody, to say the least. Now let's search what I referred to as this side. There are several floors we can ascend. On the first is a raider with a box of sugar bombs. You'll want those. Heading up can be achieved by climbing the rubble ramp and then using the stairs. The other floors, or what remains of them, have nothing important until reaching the top floor, where we find a table surrounded by first aid and ammunition. Jumping down and crossing the road to what I referred to as that side, at the top of a gentle slope we see the hatch for what I can only assume is some sort of warhead. Perhaps there will be one inside the armory. To the southwest are the remains of a derailed monorail. There are a limited number of these throughout the capital wasteland, so let's go take a look. The monorail cannot be entered or interacted with, nor do they explode, but you can climb on it, so there's that. Along the side are the initials CMR, which stands for Columbia Monorail, the pre-war high-speed straddle beam monorail service that operated in the Washington, D.C. area. With that little lesson over, we can head back to the armory. The final thing outside worth mentioning is a safe with an average lock. After that, we can head over to the Wheaton Armory door and go inside. The first thing to greet us is the voice of our beloved president, John Henry Eden. Said no one ever. Well, maybe that one guy, but he doesn't count. Going through the utility door leads to another, and through that are a couple of gun cabinets and warning signs. But who ever listened to those? Beyond the signs and to the left are 308 rounds, a first aid box, and anti-rads. Yoink! Through the opening we can see a hatch, the very same from earlier, and below is another one just like it, presumably where the warhead is sleeping. The stairs leading down are pretty barren until reaching an open door. I won't lie, I didn't even see it. I decided to reject the open door and continue descending the stairs to the bottom. Down here the radiation should increase to around 14 ticks per second, but earlier I took Rad-X, which is why the counter is so low. As for the hatch, it looks kind of sagged, which made me think the hatch didn't function correctly during the Great War, and maybe the warhead is still inside. Console commands revealed the truth. Underneath the hatch was only a layer of cold, hard, abrasive disappointment. Heading back and taking out the turret allows us to go through the open door and interact with the terminal, which, as usual, disables the already dealt with turret. So useful. Beside the useless computer is a first aid box, and in the corner is more ammunition and anti-rads. On the floor are several skeletons, with one of them wearing scraps of pre-war clothing. What I think happened here is the employees of Wheaton Armory became trapped when the security came online. They must have tried to interact with the turret, failed since it was still operational, and perished from the lack of food and water. Or maybe they are just skeletons, and I'm creating something from nothing for the sake of it. Back in the passageway and turning left, we find a pack of mentats and the body of a raider who died trying to open the door. Beside the body is a terminal we can use to gain access. Upon interacting with it, I noticed the usual green screen had been replaced with a whitish one that I really can't recall seeing elsewhere. After selecting the correct password, it changed back to green for some reason. Weird, I know. Along with the returning colour was a message. Authorized personnel only. This room is to remain locked at all times. Use of this terminal without proper clearance is strictly forbidden. Area is under surveillance. A quick glance behind confirms that it is, but we're still going to unlock the door. As soon as the door opens, the sound of an alarm fills the armory, although it doesn't actually alert other security to the player's presence. Beyond the door we have free reign to collect missile launchers, miniguns, sniper rifles, radiation suits, anti-rads and ammunition. Not a bad score. Could have made for a more interesting fight against the raiders had they managed to get inside though. And there we have it, the Wheaton Armory and the monorail. If you've enjoyed the video, then consider leaving a comment, liking the video, sharing it with a friend, subscribing to see more, and enabling notifications to avoid missing any activity. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next adventure.